Hey everyone, it's Carolyn. Welcome back to Contemporary Mama. Today's video is going to be a what's for dinner video. As everyone is well aware, we have an international global pandemic going on, and I have had to make a lot of changes to my daily routine. And one of the most difficult ones has been that I can't run to the grocery store at the drop of the hat. I'm one of those weird people that enjoys going to the grocery store. I usually go at least twice a week. So now I've had to really change that routine, and like many other people, I am trying to really limit how often I am going there, even though at this point in time we still are allowed to go because it's considered an essential business. However, I did get to the grocery store last week and I stocked up on as much food as I could so that I would hopefully not have to go back for at least 3, maybe even 4 weeks. So I'm just going to be showing you 5 examples of the meals that I'm going to be creating from items from my stockpile and how to make your stockpile last as long as possible. So one of the first things I did was try and stock up on meat. No, I didn't go crazy and hoard like a lot of people. I bought a reasonable amount, but I do have a deep freezer, and so anything that I wasn't planning on using right away, I stuck in the freezer for a later date. The next thing I did was stock up on shelf-stable items. Those are things like pasta, sauce, tuna, rice, things like that, although I do try to eat those not very often. When you're in a crisis like this, you do sort of have to adapt, and those things stay fresh in the pantry for quite some time, so I am incorporating those into our meals more often. Another good tip is to stock up on frozen fruits and vegetables. If you're trying not to get to the grocery store very often, fresh produce is not going to last you very long, but frozen produce is a great alternative, and it's going to taste just as good as fresh produce when you prepare it properly. So that's another thing that you'll see in these meals. As far as fresh produce, I tried to stock up on things like bell peppers, carrots, and celery, because those for me tend to last the longest. Things like salad greens and cucumbers, things like that that sort of go bad after 4 or 5 days. Just doesn't make sense to stock up on items like that. So I hope that you'll find this video helpful. I hope everyone is staying home and staying healthy.
So I'm starting out with this easy veggie rice and Instant Pot smothered pork chops. So I'm going to go ahead and warm up the saute function on my Instant Pot, put on Yovi's home live stream, and get started on the pork. It's really important to use a thick cut pork chop so they don't get overcooked in the Instant Pot. And then grab a spice rub and go ahead and put that on both sides of your pork chops and pat that in so that they are well coated. Now that your Instant Pot is hot, you can add in some oil and brown your pork chops on both sides for 3 minutes each. Once they're nice and golden brown, you can go ahead, take them out of the pot, turn it off, and add in a cup of chicken broth. You're going to want to scrape up all those brown bits at the bottom because they have so much flavor. So once those are all nice and scraped up, go ahead, add your pork chops back into the pot, and you can sprinkle a chopped onion over it. Now you can go ahead and just place your top on the Instant Pot, making sure that it's on tight, and close the sealing valve so that it's sealed. You're going to pressure cook this for about 10 to 15 minutes. I did 15 minutes and I thought it was a little too much. I'll probably do 10 next time. So while your Instant Pot is doing its thing, I'm just going to make up some rice and vegetables. I'm using frozen vegetables because fresh produce is a little bit limited since we can't go to the store. So I'm just going to prepare the rice as it is directed on the box. And then in like the last 10 minutes or so, I'm just sprinkling those frozen vegetables on top so that they can steam right along with it. Now, once those are all cooked, I'll just go ahead, stir it all up so that it's well combined and you have an easy veggie and rice dish all in one pot. Now, when your Instant Pot is done cooking, you're just going to let it sit for 10 minutes. That's called a natural release, and then you can release any remaining pressure until this pressure valve drops and is flat. That's how you know it's all ready to open up. So you can go ahead and open up your Instant Pot and carefully remove your pork chops to a plate. They will be nice and tender, so you want to be careful. And then we're going to go ahead and make a little gravy. So go ahead, turn that saute function back on, and you can whisk up a little cornstarch slurry. Add that into your Instant Pot and just let it stir it up, and it's going to thicken that up beautifully. And if you want it extra creamy, add in a big squeeze of sour cream, and you have this thick, delicious gravy that you can pour on top of your pork chops and your rice too if you want to. So the next night's menu are these sausage and pepper sandwiches with a side salad. So I'm using these mild Italian chicken sausages, a small onion, and this bag of frozen pepper strips. That made it super easy. I'm so lucky I found this bag of hot dog buns in my freezer, even though they are a little sad looking, and some tomato sauce just to add a little extra flavor. So once I go ahead and slice up that onion, I'm just going to go ahead and cook everything. I'm using my grill pan to grill the sausages since it was a little rainy outside, so we weren't going to use the grill today. And then I'm just going to add some oil to a pan and go ahead and saute the onion and those pepper strips to get those nicely cooked. So I'm using up the last of my lettuce to make a salad. Probably won't be having salad for a while now. And then I'm just going to chop some of my fresh produce that I still have in my refrigerator. And then my salad will be done. The sausages were pretty much cooked, but I'm just going to add them to the peppers and then add in the tomato sauce and just kind of mix that up and let that simmer on like medium low to make sure that those sausages are really cooked all the way through. My hot dog buns, I'm going to toast up a little bit in my toaster oven so that those are nice and warm. And then once I'm sure that everything is nicely cooked through, I'm just going to divvy up the peppers, onions, and then place one of those chicken sausages on each bun. And then that's it. Dinner is served. Tonight we are doing chicken Parmesan and pasta. I have made this before, so I'll just breeze through this super quick. I'm just going to go ahead and add some Italian seasoning to my panko breadcrumbs, and then I'm just going to bread my chicken by dipping it in an egg mixture and then coating it in the breadcrumb mixture. You can go ahead and fry these, but I just love how easy it is to bake them in the oven. It's just such a time saver. So I just cook those for about 20 minutes until they're almost all the way cooked through, and then they'll finish cooking later once we add the cheese. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cook my pasta. I'm using regular spaghetti for the rest of my family. I love using this Hearts of Palm veggie pasta by Palmini. So those are just going to cook and warm up while the chicken's in the oven. So I start by adding a little sprinkle of Parmesan cheese once the chicken comes out of the oven, and then I just drizzle in some marinara in sort of like the cracks between the chicken so it doesn't really get too soggy, and go ahead and top that with fresh mozzarella and go ahead and do a little taste test just to make sure it tastes good. So you just want to pop that back in the oven for like another 10 minutes or so until that cheese is nice and melted. And while that's in there, feel free to pour yourself a nice big glass of wine or maybe even the whole bottle. Who knows? It's a quarantine. No one is going to judge you. So the next night, the weather is absolutely beautiful. So we're doing a little grill night. So we're doing some cheeseburger sliders paired with pasta salad. And this was just such a delicious meal. Really gets me excited for the upcoming warm weather. So I'm just doing 2 boxes of this pasta salad. I love this suddenly salad. I think it tastes so good. So it's just such a great way to make pasta salad quickly. But I love bulking it up with some fresh vegetables. So since I still have some, I'm going to go ahead and use them. So I'm adding in some sliced grape tomatoes, sliced bell pepper, and then I did have some leftover fresh mozzarella from the chicken Parmesan last night. So I'm just going to go ahead and cube that up and add that in. So I'll just go ahead, boil the pasta according to the package directions. And then once that is all cool, I'll go ahead and mix that all up. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and make my burgers. So I have some ground beef, and then I'm just adding in some very finely chopped onion to that. I do like it pretty fine. So I use this little Pampered Chef food chopper to get that like really minced up. A big splash of barbecue sauce, and then for seasonings, I'm just doing seasoned salt, some garlic powder, and this is like the generic version of Montreal steak seasoning, so it's just like the store brand. So then just really get in there with my hands and mix that up so that there's a ton of flavor. So by now my pasta's done cooking. I'm just mixing up the ingredients according to the box, so it's just adding some oil, water, and it comes with like a seasoning packet. And then I'm just going to let that cool while my husband grills the burgers outside on the grill. I had to do these little slider size because I could not find rolls at the grocery store. Bread is like so limited where we live, so I had these little King's Hawaiian rolls in the freezer, so I just defrosted those, and we had sliders and pasta salad. So quarantine meal number 5 is this yummy Asian stir fry. This is something that we make almost every single week, and it's great because it's definitely something from the freezer. Nothing fresh is required. I love the stir fry kit that I get at Aldi. I love that it comes with a sauce packet included. And then I also love that I got my husband to peel the shrimp. That's just like such a big help. I just thawed those earlier in the day, and those are like the easy peel shrimp. So I'm just using the sauce packet that came with the stir fry kit, adding in some peanut butter, hoisin, ginger, and chili pepper just for like extra flavoring. So while I am getting my stir-fry vegetables steamed, I am going to go ahead and also saute some peanuts. That just gives them so much flavor. And I'm going to cook these lo mein noodles according to the package directions. So once the peanuts are done, I'm just going to add in some onion and garlic. Let that soften for like 30 to 60 seconds. Then I'll add in my shrimp and some soy sauce for a little bit of flavor. Let the shrimp cook all the way through. And then by now, my vegetables are completely steamed, so I just add that to the shrimp along with that sauce that I mixed up earlier, and this just has so much flavor. It's so delicious. We love making this like all the time. So you just can serve that over the lo mein noodles. You can use rice if you don't have lo mein noodles. That also tastes really good, and we do that a lot. And then you just top it with those peanuts. We just chop them up so that it's like a little bit easier. Sprinkle those on top for a little garnish, and seriously, this dish is delicious.
So I just finished editing this video and I realized I didn't record an outro. So really quick, I'll just say thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and it gave you some meal ideas that you can make at home while we're all stuck in our homes for the time being. So I'll see you on Tuesday with a brand new video. Thanks again so much for watching. Bye.
Thanks for watching. See you later.
See you later.